reports are emerging from the broken land of Gaza. Voices are uniting. They don't want anyone to govern Gaza except for the one who knows the pain of Gazans, the one who has cried with the Gazans and who has smelled fear when Israel was assaulting the narrow strip with airstrikes. The people of Palestine have spoken. They have made it clear they reject any Western figure being imposed upon them, especially someone like Tony Blair, a man whose hands are dipped in the blood of innocent Muslims. Reports have now emerged that Palestinians, including both Palestinian resistance and the Palestinian Authority, have agreed on Amjad Shawa to lead the new technocratic board that will rule Gaza. This decision, according to Khan News and the Jerusalem Post, was taken after a meeting in Cairo involving Palestinian resistance, the Palestinian Authority, and Egyptian intelligence. But here's the shocking part. His official appointment reportedly still depends on approval from the United States. So even as the blood of Gaza is still wet in the sand, the so-called freedom of Palestine is still waiting for America's approval. So who is Amjad Shawa? He is the director of the Palestinian NGO network, a man who has long worked with the United Nations and international humanitarian organizations. People describe him as pro-Palestinian resistance without being a Palestinian resistance man. In other words, he represents the voice of the people. He is neither a danger, nor is he a puppet like Mahmoud Abbas. In one of his recent interviews, he said that despite the destruction, the people of Gaza will go back. Even if their homes are turned to rubble, they will pitch their tents over what's left and begin again. That one sentence captures the soul of Gaza. Destroyed 100 times, but never defeated once. Meanwhile, Israel has made its stance clear. Even as the U.S. brokered ceasefire talks of peace and international security arrangements, Benjamin Netanyahu declared that Israel will control Gaza's security, deciding for itself when to strike, where to strike, and who will be allowed to send troops. Israel is an independent state. We will defend ourselves by our own means and we will continue to determine our fate, Netanyahu said. We do not seek anyone's approval for this. We control our security, he added. In other words, even after years of targeting civilian homes, after executing thousands, and after agreeing to a ceasefire, Israel still plans to occupy Gaza in all but name. In this statement, Netanyahu is so proudly saying that Israel is an independent state. But what about Palestine? It wishes independence and security for Israel, but it does not prefer the same for Palestine. It never wants Palestine to be independent, nor does it want Palestine to ever be secure. What an excellent example of sheer hypocrisy. Under the New Deal, an international security force, expected to include Arab or Muslim countries, is supposed to oversee Gaza once Israel withdraws. But even that is being dictated by Tel Aviv. Israel has already announced it will reject any forces it doesn't approve of, especially Turkey, which Netanyahu sees as a regional rival. And once again, the United States stands behind Israel's words, sending senior officials to mediate, but in truth, to control the future of Gaza. But under these conditions, when America decides who leads Gaza, and Israel decides who provides Gaza's security, what kind of freedom is that? This isn't liberation, it's occupation in disguise. The kind of occupation that Israel does in the West Bank. The same powers who armed Israel, funded the war, and watched Gaza incinerate now want to decide its leadership and future. And they expect the world to call that peace. This surely isn't peace. This is just occupation in another form. Previously, too, Gaza was occupied and under inhumane siege. Now the form of occupation will change, and their security and leader, too, will be controlled by Israel and the U.S. However, by choosing Amjad Shawa, the Palestinians have made it clear that they do not trust any single person who is chosen by the U.S. or Israel. They want a person of their own land. They don't want foreign interference at all. Now, this nomination put forward by the Palestinian Resistance and Palestinian Authority is definitely near impossible to be accepted by the U.S. and Israel, as it is clear from the start what Israel and the U.S. want. Israel doesn't want to give up Gaza at any cost, and the U.S. is forced to assist Israel in whatever it wishes. That's all for today. If you found the video informative, please like it and subscribe to the channel. Jazakum Allahu khairan.